welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. If you are returning, you already know it. You are fabulous. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here with me today. So today's video is going to be some farmhouse 4th of July. Lots of cute stuff. This stuff turned out awesome. I'm absolutely in love with it. This is also a collaboration video with Jessica from over at Glue La. I'll tell you a little bit more about her channel in a little bit. All right, let's get straight into this with DIY number 1. Okay, so for this first one here, I have got 6 of the wooden cutout stars from the Dollar Tree. I've also got some material here that I picked up for 97 cents, and then I got this fat quarter for, I think it was like $2.97. And then this is also another piece that I got for 97 cents. I just had already taken it, you know, the paper off or whatever. I'm also going to be using my Waverly chalk paint in the colors Crimson, Ocean, and White. So the first thing that I did was get out my ruler, and I just drew a straight line down each of these stars. I got it on my table, y'all. Anyways, my new mat that I've got. So like I said, I just took my ruler and drew a straight line right down the middle of each of the stars. I'm going to take these stars out to my workshop there and actually cut these with my power saw. Because it just is way easier than using the miter box or whatever. So I'm actually going to take them out and cut them, but I needed each one of them to be in half. So that's why I'm making my straight line right down the middle. Now, took them out, cut them with the saw. So we've got like 12 pieces now. I'm going to lay those out and paint 2 of each one with the red, the ocean, the blue, whatever, and then also the white. So we've got 2 stars of each color, and I'm actually going to paint those front and back. Super easy, y'all. This was a very, very simple DIY, and it turns out so stinking cute, like for real. But like I said, I just gave these a good coat of paint front and back. Then I'm going to take 1 set of each color, and we're going to put material over it. I've got my Aleene's tacky glue. I love using this glue for projects like this. I think it is perfect. Does not wrinkle, no bubbles, no nothing. It's actually perfect for projects like this. So I'm just going to put that on my star and then smear it in really, really well. Make sure that I've got it super smeared in, you know, very evenly smeared. You just want to make sure that it's good and even. But I just take an old paintbrush, smear that in real good, and it rinses right out of your paintbrush super easy too, so no worries on that. Now I'm going to lay out my material. I first cleaned up my little spot there where I had gotten some glue, lay out my material, and as you can see there, I've actually got it laid facing upwards. So once I laid the stars down, I realized, oh my gosh, I've glued them to the wrong side. So of course I did. Oh my gracious, y'all. So I just flipped it over, relayed it down. So I've got my glue on there. I've got it glued to the material now. I'm going to add some more glue to the back. Smear it in just like I did the front side. And y'all, when I glued it to the other side, it actually didn't hurt the material at all. It did not, you know, discolor it or anything like that. You couldn't even tell that it had actually been glued to the wrong side first. So thank goodness on that one, but worked out really well. So I'm just going to flip my material over and smooth it in really, really well. Make sure everything's nice and smooth, both sides. We're good to go. So I just took my rag and kind of wiped off any excess glue that was there from where I did lay it on the wrong side, but it did not damage it at all. It was fine. So I just did this process with each color of the stars. So we're going to have 1 set that has the material on it, and then 1 set that is just strictly painted. And I'm actually going to take all of these out and sand them with my hand sander just to get off the excess material, and then also to distress the ones that are painted. So I'm just cutting off any excess. I'm going to, you know, cut it as close to it as I can get it, but I knew I was going to take them out and use the sander, so I wasn't wasn't really worried about making sure that I got it all. You know what I mean? So I just cut it as close as I possibly could, all the way around the star. These are so cute. I cannot wait for y'all to see these. And I left the this one here that you see, I left it whole. The other ones I actually cut in half. But we're going to leave this one whole. I should have left the white one that's just strictly painted. I should have left it whole also, but I didn't think about it when I was cutting them. But anyways, no big deal. But the rest of them, I just cut off all the excess, and then I actually go back through and cut them in half. Super, super simple. And those fat quarters, y'all, that was so much material. Like I said, I just sanded each one down. I'm then going to take the one that we have that's whole, add a generous amount of hot glue, then take two pieces, two halves, and just hold those at an angle. Once they've dried, I'm going to flip it over, kind of prop it up, add some more glue right down the middle. Pretty generous amount. Take two pieces again, hold those at an angle, just let them dry, just like they are. So I've created the pattern of red, white, blue, as you can see there, all the way around. Super, super simple. I did have to cut off a little bit. I had a couple pieces that were kind of hanging of the material, but no big deal. Just cut those off. I then glued the white one back together, added my two pieces, holding them at an angle. I did go, while I had them at an angle, I actually added a little hot glue on the back side of them too, just to reinforce it. That's all I did to these. Too stinking cute. How cute is that intro, y'all? Really, I mean, that is just too stinking cute. What a great idea she had. All right, so this is Jessica's channel. It is called Glue Lala, and she has got tons of farmhouse DIYs on here, y'all. Our channels are so similar. It's crazy. But I actually saw a few of her videos. She showed up in my feed, and so I just kind of clicked on it and watched a couple of her videos, and I was like, wow, this girl is really, really good. So I reached out to her and asked her if she would want to do a collaboration. I really thought that you guys would enjoy her because, like I said, our channels are so similar. She's got so much farmhouse, so many DIYs, and she is just fantastic, y'all. I mean, I'm telling you, when I saw her videos, I was like, oh my gosh, this girl needs to be seen. Like, more people need to see her because she's just really that good. She's got anything from Christmas to Valentine's to nautical to just regular everyday farmhouse. Great DIYs, y'all. So be sure and check her out. There will be a link in the description box for her video and also her channel. All right, DIY number 2. So for this one, I've actually got some yarn that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. I end up not using this, but it was a good idea. I've got another one of those fat quarters from Walmart. Also the material that we used earlier, and then I've got 2 more of the little material that I got for 97 cents also at Walmart. And then I'm going to be using my twine, and I buy my twine from Walmart. I do have some Dollar Tree twine, but it's a little bit thinner. So I started out by just folding my material together, cutting it long ways down it, and then I began to just cut it into strips. So the strips are about, judging from my table, the squares on my table, these strips are about 10 inches, I would think. 10 to 11 inches long. But like I said, I just cut it long ways first. I've got them folded. and then I'm just going to cut it into strips. And I realized after I'd already done the first set that it would be way easier to do it with my rotary tool, as long as I don't cut my fingers off, because I was getting pretty close. But don't worry, no harm was done in the process of this. But I just cut this off, and like I said, way easier to do with the rotary tool. I just went through and cut off each one. I used one kind of as a guide to see how long it was, because I didn't actually measure it. I just kind of eyeballed the first set. So anyways, but like I said, just cut it long ways first. I've got it folded, so I'm actually cutting like 3 pieces at a time. But taking that rotary tool and just going right across there. I'm not worried about it being straight. I'm not worried about them being even. None of that matters, because the more kind of wonky it looks, the better, actually. Now, this one came with that like where the beginning of the material started. So I did cut that off first. Then I go back and cut it long ways, both sides on this one. And then I start back in with the rotary tool. Just strips, no big deal. This is so super simple, y'all. And this makes such a awesome piece. So if you're going to try any of them, try this one. If y'all have not checked me out over on Facebook, be sure and do that. I've got a group just for y'all. And then I also have an Instagram. It is bless.beyond.measure.crafts. That is a great place to connect with me. I've got a messenger over there, and so that's a great place to connect. Now, I took those strips and my twine, I just started my twine out, and then I just began to tie these strips on there. I went kind of in order. I started on one side of my strips and just kind of went down the line of them. 4 different strips there, but I'm just tying them on. Y'all, it does not get any simpler than this. You could do this with a child. I mean, this is so super simple, but it's such a great piece to have. It just makes such a statement. Just tied them on. Now, I just put on YouTube and watch YouTube while I do this. So, I mean, it did take probably an hour and a half to actually get all of these tied on. But if you just kind of do something else to distract yourself, you'll get right in the hang of it, and it goes by just like that. But I actually like to get on YouTube and watch the like true crime videos. I love stuff like that. So that's what I watch. When I was a little girl, my grandmother and I would watch Dragnet together. And what was it? Perry Mason. She loved Perry Mason. So if you know who Perry Mason is, be sure and let me know in the comments. If you ever watched Dragnet or Perry Mason, definitely let me know in the comments. All right, so like I said, I just tied them on, and this is what you end up with. It's gorgeous, y'all. All right, DIY number 3. So for this one, I have got one of these vases. These are the ones that have like the little chalkboard circle on it. And then I've also got some stickers from the Dollar Tree. Now, I just started out by taking the stickers and kind of randomly placing those on the jar or the vase. I'm not really randomly. They're kind of in a pattern, like one up, one down, one up, one down, kind of like that. But now when I found these vases, I honestly thought, what on earth am I going to do with those? Because I didn't really like the black circle on there. I knew I wasn't ever going to write anything on it or, use it and actually use the black. So it was perfect for this project because I knew I was going to be painting completely painting it. So totally perfect for this project. But like I said, just took those stars and placed those, I placed the big ones on there kind of in a pattern. And then I took the little ones and just kind of randomly placed those in between the big ones. So this dude has got stars all over it. I then began to paint it with my white Waverly chalk paint. It went on perfectly. It could not have it could not have gone on any better, y'all. Seriously. I used my heat gun to dry it. Now, this is a different heat gun. I usually have my little blue one, but it kind of played out on me, guys. So I ended up buying one from Harbor Freight, and I love it. It's a heavy duty dude. Now, after I got it painted and it dried, I'm taking some antique wax and a baby wipe, and I'm just wiping this on there with the baby wipe. See how it really brings those stars out? Boy, it just makes those stars pop when you do that. But I'm taking that baby wipe. I got a fresh one, a clean baby wipe, and went back over it and kind of wiped the antique wax back off. Now, I did have some spots where the paint came off, but no big deal. I just grabbed my paintbrush, went back over it. I did go back over the entire thing with my paintbrush, kind of dry brushing over the top of the antique wax just to make it kind of blend in. But I also repainted the spots that had, where the paint had come off. Super simple. This again is another very simple DIY, but it's so cute, and it just completely transforms one of those Dollar Tree vases. But like I said, I just went over it with my paint. Any spot that I felt like needed some more of the antique wax, I just simply patted it on, kind of wiped it a little bit, but super simple. Now, I had one of these flags. This was kind of an afterthought, but I had one of these flags that I picked up from the Dollar General store for $1. And I just took it and wiped it down with the baby wipe. The same baby wipe that I had been using on the vase. So that baby wipe actually had antique wax on it and also a little bit of the paint. So it really distressed this flag, almost perfectly. It turned out perfect because some of the paint kind of come off on the flag, so it would make it, look kind of distressed. And then also, of course, putting the antique wax on there, and I kind of, focused mainly on the edges. But as you can see there, see how some of the paint kind of come off? And it just really makes it look distressed. It was perfect. So I just did that, popped that in the vase with a little bit of greenery, and there you have it. And now for our final DIY number 4. So for this one, I've got one of these signs that I got from the Dollar Tree. I've also got that material that we used from earlier and a plate that I got from the Dollar Tree. Just a set of like party plates. Now this sign had like a little piece that was like added onto it. So I just pulled that off, and on the back of it, it had little foam pieces to make it kind of pop off of the sign. So I'm saving those foam pieces because we're going to actually use those on the back of our little sign that we're making. So save those foam pieces. I then go in with my white Waverly chalk paint and paint just the inside of this sign. I did this because I'm going to be laying that material down, and I wasn't sure if it would show through, that lime green would show through it. So I just decided to go ahead and paint it and be done with it and make sure. I also took a chip brush, added some of that white Waverly chalk paint, and I dry brushed around this entire frame. Super simple to do. I then laid it down, marked it off. Marked off my square. That way I would be able to cut it out for the inside. Now, I do realize that it's going to be a little bigger when you do it this way, but it's okay because I knew I could cut it back down. So I just took my scissors, cut it out. Now, to remove the excess that was on there, I just laid it down in there and then took my rotary tool and cut it off. So super simple. I'm then going to take my Aleene's tacky glue. Y'all know I love using this stuff. I'm just going to add it right to the middle of this sign, smoothing it in real good. And kind of that's the key to this, is making sure that you've got it super smooth. I did make sure and go around all the edges because I wanted to make sure that my material would lay down and, you know, stay laying down. I just laid it down in there and then smoothed it out. Really made sure that it was stuck all the way around the edges. But this is, you can't get any simpler than that. Super simple. I'm then going to take that plate, and as you can see there, it has kind of got like a beveled edge around the middle. So I was actually able to just simply cut out right around that edge. I love the truck print in this. I just thought it was too stinking cute. Definitely needed to be turned into a sign. Now, I did cut off a little bit extra, and I also rounded the edges of this. I just thought it kind of gave it that finished look. Just simply trimming it, getting it just like I want it. I'm then going to take our little foam pieces. I almost said feet. I'm going to take our little foam pieces and just glue those right down to the back of this. Then we're going to take it, add hot glue to, I did turn it over and make sure that I was doing it correctly because the hanger is at the top. So I just flipped it over, added hot glue to the back of those foam pieces, and then glued that directly to the middle. Too stinking easy, y'all. So easy. Now, there was another little piece on this plate that said 4th of July, and I thought, okay, I could cut that out and just kind of add it to my piece. It'll fit perfect. So I did cut that out, added a little hot glue, popped it down on there. So cute. So stinking cute. I then took a small brush and a little bit of antique wax, and I went right around the edge of this, our middle piece of this sign. It just totally made it farmhouse. I mean, that adding the antique wax really finished this project. So stinking cute, y'all. And so simple. That was it. And now for the final reveal. I hope that y'all enjoy. All right, y'all, that is it for today. Thank you so much for being with me. I hope that y'all have enjoyed everything. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. It definitely helps my channel. Don't forget to share this with your friends and family, and also subscribe. That would be awesome. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you'll know each time I upload a new video. Also, don't forget to go check out Jessica over at Glue Lala. There will be a link in the description box for her. Thank you so much, and y'all have a blessed day.